Right, like I said before, building a van. Again, this is the fourth one I've done. I've done 3 transporters, and this is the first craft job I'm doing, so it's obviously a bit bigger. You tend to jump around jobs. You can't, you go so far and you got to do something else. And now what I'm doing at the moment is getting this roof progressed a little bit further. Now what I'm doing is, because the medium wheelbase craft, in fact the long wheelbase as well, towards the rear there's quite a big dip, so the roof is lower at the back than at the front. So I'm going to fix some battens across the ribs in the roof, and I'm going to add some spacers, so it will lower the roof slightly at the front and lower the roof a little bit less at the rear. So hopefully that should straighten out. So what I'm in the middle of doing is creating some spacers out of 12mm ply. And also creating some double spacers. Got a sticker drill through that. And then on the battens that go across the roof, if I can bring that into view, what will happen is on the on the ribs towards the front, we'll put 2 spacers, one there, and one at the side. And what that will do is, if I can lift it up to the roof, hopefully that's not too bright, but it'll fit like that. These will be attached to the roof. We've got 6mm riv nuts there in the existing holes. And we'll just screw it up, and then that'll give us hopefully a nice level battens, so we can attach the roof to it. Okay, let's see how we get on. So today's job is going to start getting the ceiling sorted out. So I've figured out everything that needs to attach to the ceiling. Been to the DIY shop, got some 8mm cladding, some sheets of ply, but I don't need them today. But once we start putting things in the van, it's going to be more tricky to get this sort of stuff purchased and shipped around. So what I want to do is take this cladding out and get it stained, and while that's drying off, I've got a few little bits to just finish off around this rear shelf area. But yeah, let's crack on. this will do for today. Stained, varnished, and the easy, or the more straightforward part of the roof is in. Yep, pretty happy with that. Got one LED. All good. I can get out of the van without falling out. Ooh. Time for a beer. So the roof's in, bar the trimming. Fairly straightforward. Tongue groove's always a bit of a pain though, because once you're limited in space, then it's a bit tricky to get in around the edges. But I think it's looking okay. So around the door, we're gonna box this in at some point, so obviously it didn't have to go right up to the edge. Which makes things a little easier. And again, same thing with the at the back of the cabinets. Don't have to go right to the edge because we're going to have a sort of a little false roof in there anyway. And it also makes getting to the wiring, if needed, a little bit easier. And still not fully decided what we're going to do above the head end of the bed. Probably going to do some sort of boxing in. I'll tell you what these are at some point. That's not for electrics. These are 2 bits of wood. I've probably shown on another video or mentioned it. These are the supports for the microwave shelf. So these are riv-nutted into the roof, so nice and solid. It's not using any screws. Yeah, 6mm riv nuts. Got a little bit of touching up to do around these screws. Countersunk went in a little bit too deep, but I'll just get a cotton bud with a bit of dye on there. And well, that's probably the worst one. You can see that. Yeah, a bit of cotton bud. Go and dab in. Need to trim around the Max Air fan. I did plan it to be recessed, but I've got my measurements a little bit wrong. It's very blurry there.